Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video on this, the Cold Steel Warrior Series katana. After swinging it around a couple of days and not being completely so rambly, I now can give a more concise, basic understanding of my thoughts and feelings about this piece. Well, it suffers from the same problem as its elder sister did. $400, though I'm not going to cry teeth it as much, considering this is $300 less than the Warrior katana, than the O series, than the O katana, I should say. But it is looking like a common theme that the kashiras come loose, and that's because cold steel doesn't glue the kashira in place. They actually tie the kashira on like it's traditionally supposed to be tied. There's traditionally no glue holding the kashira in place. The ito is tight. I can move it above the manuki, but I really do have to push into it in order for it to move. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous video, but I intend to turn this into a bushcrafting sword. And what that means is I'm going to be replacing the Ito wrap on this with paracord. For two reasons. One, I don't think this Ito wrap would fare me well in any kind of actual fighting scenario, or should I say survival scenario, where I would have to take it off and use it to tie anything up. I trust paracord much more for something like that. And second, just for the sheer fact that once you gutted out the paracord, I find that paracord, once it's gutted, gives a much smoother feeling handle to the blade. So, not that I don't like this grip, I do like it. It's just, this is going to become a bushcraft sword for out in the wilderness, and I just don't think that this classic wrapping style will work well for the theme that I'm going to go with. So I will be replacing the Ito wrap on this thing. But aside from that, all the other fittings are rock solid. I found out from disassembling its elder sister that these things are all pressure fit on. And most likely the way they do that is they put the habaki, the seppa, the suba, then the second seppa on. And then they just hammer it in place with a tube to basically pressure fit and lock everything in place. Even the suka cores are all pressure fit. This is an all pressure fit construction. The only thing you're going to be getting out with any kind of ease are the makuge pegs. The rest of this sword is pressure fit out the hell. The blade, I did some somewhat light chopping into trees and such with it a couple days ago. Handled perfectly fine, no real problems. I just finished polishing out all the stains from that little cutting fiasco, so that's why the blade looks clean. Except if you can't tell in the light, this slight darkened discoloration on the Kisaki. I think I just missed that stain, or my polish did take it out, because the grind of the Kisaki is the Kisaki grind goes this way, while the rest of the blade grind goes lengthways. So there's that. You notice the habaki has a small little lip that extends beyond the blade. looking at the Warrior O series katana, I'm betting that it's pretty much the same habaki. I mean, these blades are exactly the same width. The only real difference between these blades is the length and the thickness. Oh shit. Well, we got a slight little ding on the edge. Nothing I can't get out with a few licks on the work sharp. So I'm not going to be too critical about that. Spine only got a little scratch on it. I mean, this sword's going to be used for chopping through branches and tree limbs and all kinds of other bushcrafting shit, so I guess I shouldn't be too concerned about it getting all stained and scratched up. With me, I feel like swords need to have scratches and stains on them to show that they've been used. Like, it's basically love marks, if you would. Basically giving your swords hickeys. But in any case, that's enough of the blade. Pretty much everything I've talked about the Warrior O series katana transfers over to this, just in smaller portions. The saya, I've already had to file this little lip. There was a little lip on the Koiguchi, so I had to file that lip off, and now the sword comes in and out fairly decently. There's still that ever so present bind somewhere down the saya, but I've pretty much either chipped it out or cut it out with how many times I've drawn and resheathed the sword. The Fujira, I believe that's what it's called, Fujira, at the end, or Koiguchi, Kurigata, Koijira. Koijira is what I think it's called. But in any case, I don't really remember the term for this end cap since I never really talk about the end cap. But as you can see, perfectly fine, minor cosmetic flaw there in the forge. I mean, the casting of it, nothing major. The lacquer does come with a blemish right here that I can actually feel as I run my finger over it. It's actually I want to say cut that has been lacquered over. There's a few little bits and blemishes in the lacquer, but Cult of Athena even says that these things basically come with so many minor defects that it's impossible to weed them all out, and I bought this from Amazon. In the review, I think I mentioned that Amazon basically sells these things direct from cold steel in the same manner at which they're packaged. At Cult of Athena, they take it out, look over it, put the sword in the scabbard, and send it to you in the sword bag. So basically, instead of having to ship everything separately in one box, they just put it all together and send it out to you, which I don't really see as a big difference. It's just the way they package things. But yeah, I really can't say a whole lot, considering that I haven't really started doing the whole rewrapping thing with this sword. Sorry, I literally just woke up like 3 hours ago. So, yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. A little shorter version of that nearly 20-minute ramble fest. So, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai, tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe in using your weapons, and I'm sorry for the lack of quote unquote enthusiasm. Like I said, I basically just woke up. I'm out. Peace.